This tutorial is for your Chapter 3 project. You'll want to have Blackboard open, and if you're on the home page, you're going to scroll all the way down till you find the Chapter 3 folder. Click on the Chapter 3 folder, and at the bottom of this folder you'll find information regarding the project. So Chapter 3 project is here, and you'll notice there are 3 different attachments. The first one is the SetLogic poster that will help you to write SetLogic notation. The second one is the grading rubric for your project. And finally are the instructions for the Sneakers and Jeans project. So I'm going to click on the instructions, and this sheet is going to give you a table to fill in for part 2. That's what we're doing first, and then we're going to go back to step 1 to find the probabilities of these various observations. For part 3, we'll be using the SetLogic notation to answer questions about these events. For number 4, we'll need to know about mutually exclusive events. And finally, for number 5, you'll draw a Venn diagram of the events. So let's take a look at the actual project. When I did this project with my class, we decided that our events would be about wearing jeans and wearing sneakers. So either students will be wearing jeans or not wearing jeans. Students will be wearing sneakers or not wearing sneakers. The day that my class did this project, we just looked around at students in the classroom to see how many were wearing jeans total. And that total was 5 students. So we filled in 5. Then we looked around the classroom and counted how many people were wearing sneakers. And there were also 5 people wearing sneakers. So I'm putting that under the total column. The next thing we looked at is how many students were wearing jeans and sneakers. And that was 2 people. We then looked around the room to see if there were any students who were not wearing sneakers and not wearing jeans, and we found 4 people there. One other important piece of information we need to continue filling in the table is to know the total number of students in the classroom. So I'm going to write that above. N will represent the number of students, and we had 12 students in the classroom. So if we now know the total is 12, and 5 of them were wearing sneakers, well, that would leave 7 students who were not wearing sneakers. And again, 5 plus 7 equals 12. This means 7 students were not wearing jeans. Going back to the wearing jeans column, if we know there were a total of 5 students wearing jeans, and 2 of those students were also wearing sneakers, 2 plus something needs to make the total of 5. So that must mean there were 3 students who were not wearing sneakers. What this first column tells us is that there were 2 students in the classroom wearing jeans and wearing sneakers at the same time, and there were 3 students wearing jeans, but they were not wearing sneakers. So our total of 5 students wearing sneakers comes from 2 plus 3. Now in the column for not wearing jeans, if we know there's a total of 7, some amount plus 4 makes 7. So that must be 3 students were not wearing jeans and they were wearing sneakers. We had 4 students not wearing jeans and they were not wearing sneakers. That makes a total of 7 students that were not wearing jeans. So now that we have all of the numbers filled into the table, we can go back to question 1 and look at each event and determine the probability of observing each of the following events. For number 1, the event is students in the class, or whatever your sample is. Students are wearing jeans. So you're starting out with a fraction. How many people out of the total are wearing jeans? events. So we had 5 out of the 12 students. So that would make 5/12. So use your calculator, take 5 and divide by 12, and you'll get 0.42. So the probability of students in our classroom wearing jeans is 0.42. So you would do the same for each of the other events. For part 3, when we describe the following events using the set logic notation, we'll go back and take a look at the set logic poster. So that's your first attachment under the Project 3 in Blackboard. And this is just to remind you of the union symbol. A in union with B means everything that is in either of the events. So it's what is in event A, what is in event B, and then anything that is shared also. The intersection A intersect B is only what is shared by the events. So that's the shaded section here, number 2. We have 2 different symbols that represent complements. Remember, complement means not the event. So A complement means not event A. So it's everything else but not event A. You could also use that tilde symbol. So tilde A means not event A. And you can see in the picture that everything is shaded but not event A. When you have A minus B, it says everything in A except for anything in its overlap with B. So going to the picture, we're starting with everything in event A, but then we're taking away anything in its overlap with event B. So only this pink shaded region would be the solution. And we have 2 different situations with not the union of 2 events and then not the intersection of 2 events. So you might find this set logic notation sheet helpful for the next part of the project. So we'll look at number 3. 3A says the students are wearing jeans and sneakers. So the key word here is and. And means the intersection. So both events at the same time. So if I use J for jeans and S for sneakers, both events at the same time would be the intersection of those events. So the set logic notation would be J intersect S. So refer back to your set logic notation sheet to finish off the rest of these notations. For question 4, you're going to be asked if the events students in the class are wearing jeans and students in the class are wearing sneakers are mutually exclusive. So in order to answer that question, remember that mutually exclusive means the events do not intersect, and that should help you. Finally, number 5, you're going to be drawing a Venn diagram of the events. So there really are 2 major events we're concerned with, and those are wearing jeans, and the other event is wearing sneakers. So in your Venn diagram, you should start out with your universe. You should also have 2 circles. Now, whether these circles overlap or not will depend on if you have mutually exclusive events. Since we do have an intersection, we have students that are wearing jeans and sneakers at the same time, I need to draw 2 circles that overlap. And we know that there are 2 students that are wearing jeans and sneakers. So 2 will be the intersection. Now there's a lot missing from this Venn diagram. One noticeable item that is missing is I haven't labeled these 2 events. So I need to at least label jeans and sneakers. The other hint that I will give you is that the total for the events and what's left out in the universe needs to match the number of students or number of people that you have included in your project. So for my class, I'm going back to n equals 12. I need to make sure that all the numbers that I've written on my Venn diagram add up to 12. Nothing more, nothing less. So n is the total. So for my drawing, I need to make sure the numbers add up to 12. So when you do this project, I've recommended that you have at least 10. You can have more than 10 people that you're observing for sneakers and jeans or whatever two categories you're going to choose. Just make sure that all of the numbers in your universe then are going to add up to the correct value. Once your project is complete, you're going to save your project as a PDF. Make sure it's in PDF format. So we'll go back to Blackboard. And submit Chapter 3 project. You're going to browse your computer to wherever you saved your PDF of the project. So look in your files, attach it. If you want to write any comments or questions to me, be sure to include those in the text box, and then click Submit Project. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful for your Chapter 3 project.